comments positive, y'all. Let's not do any hate, okay? No negative energy. Keep it positive. I got me a little bit of tea going on here. Whew. Something about an unorganized desk, y'all. It's like low vibration. So I try to keep my desk organized. Okay. So let's talk about it. Some people might be like, I don't understand how I'm screwed if I don't walk in the morning. We're going to talk about one reason why you're screwed. If you want the extended content, you're going to have to purchase the article that I'm writing for that. I'm writing a series of articles, y'all. The angels told me not to rush, to make sure that I'm getting rest. So I'm not rushing the articles out. I won't be late putting them out. Everybody needs them. People still going to need them when I put them out. So let's have a little conversation here about why if you don't walk in the morning, you're screwed. Okay, so the thing about walking in the morning, the first walk you take, it's literally like you putting your feet first on the path. You know that your brain wants to know what to work on, what to get rid of, what obstacles. If you're in your home, the energy there may not be clean or cleansed yet. You woke up. You really didn't do much. So if you don't walk and you sit in that stale energy from any meditation that you had the day before or the night before when you released toxins, you're sitting in it. You're just receiving what you released. So when you go for walks, you're making sure that you're receiving more of the power of the Creator to be able to deal with the fact that you still got to go home to an environment that may have toxic memories, that may have toxic air, that may have toxic people. You've gotten confident and empowered by the sun. The sun don't just make you look good and all that. It also empowers your spirit. It makes you feel like you're a champion even if you don't have the proof. It makes you feel like you're in the fight, that you haven't dropped out of the fight for your love and success. Just the feeling of it is really important. It's hard to get that feeling when you're living in a place, you're waking up in a place where there's walls, there's toxic people, there's things that have hurt you in your home, there's mistakes you made in your home, things that were sad. It's hard for you to get in that energy without the energy of confidence, without feeling like all these reminders of your mistakes. It's important to go on that morning walk so that you can realize that the abundance is waiting for you also beyond the familiar. You often won't realize that if you're just counting on what your technology is giving you in your home environment. You need to go outside in the morning to be immediately reminded about how abundant the world is outside. Morning walks, that first morning walk is also important for you to feel like you're going in the right direction. If you're walking east and you're walking towards the sun, you'll feel like you're getting some results because the sun makes you feel good. The feeling of feeling good makes you feel like you're getting good results. So this is why it's important to go on a morning walk. If you notice toxic family members, toxic neighbors, they always want to interrupt that morning walk, or they want to be passive aggressive or cold or stonewall or dump on you because they feel and know what you're like when you come back from that walk. We're going to talk about that too, coming back from your walk. You have to see walk as like, I'm not just walking to lose weight. I'm not just walking to find ideas. I'm walking because it's what I got to do to survive. If I don't walk, I'm not going to get certain nutrients as much. And eventually, the no walking in the morning adds up. It adds up. And then before I know it, I'm not good in good vitamin health. We just aren't getting certain vitamins as abundant from vitamin pills or food. We're just not anymore. Also, our ancestors, they were always outside. They was outside all day. And when they weren't outside, they were in somewhere that actually had an opening in which the sun could come through and touch them as they're inside. Nowadays, we have windows, but the sun that comes through our window, we have things blocking it. Like we have, stoves and counters and things that's, and our tables and our beds are not exactly set up where the sun's at. Okay? So, this is why we're not as creative as our ancestors. We think we are, but we're not. We're not as attractive or abundant as them. I highly recommend, if you have trouble getting those morning walks in, to find a way to redesign your home where your kitchen table is where the sun comes through. That way, you can still move your body in your chair and still have the sun on you while you're doing it. This is if you're disabled. You have to find a way to get the morning walk in still in the sun. So it doesn't matter if you don't have any legs from the knee down. It doesn't matter if you only have arms from elbow up. You still have to get the walking motion in. I like to do it with electrolyte water in my body or keto-friendly tea. My first walk. I find, for me, carbs is a reward. Okay, I feel my body. I feel like my body's transparent. Like it's getting, like my muscles are filling out. See how they're filling out? They were really, really flat before. I find that we often use carbs as just like energy boost, but they're also a reward for going on a walk, going on your first walk. Find a carb that you really, really like and have that as a reward for your morning walk. My favorite carb as a reward is actually a half a croissant with some honey on it with some mozzarella cheese. I know you're thinking that would sound gross. It's actually really good. I had a lady whose boyfriend is ripped and she looked great. And I said, how y'all both looking great like this? And she said, it starts with the first morning thing you eat. She said, my boyfriend taught me this. I said, well, what is y'all eating? She said, well, after we go on our walk, my boyfriend makes us a piece of toast with some cheese and honey on it. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. That sounds gross, right? That's what I said, y'all. Well, I went and got me some croissants, some butter croissants, which one croissant is 17 grams of fat. So I went and got me one croissant. I cut it in half. Let me show y'all the croissants that I have. Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. I got to turn this stove off, too. I'll be back, y'all. Hold on, y'all. We're going to take a little break. I'll be back in about 1 minute, y'all. I have to turn this stove off. We're going to finish this conversation. Okay. So these croissants, this is how I reward myself. I know some of y'all saying she rewarded herself for a walk. Y'all, as much toxicity we go through, we have to reward ourselves for a walk now. Like, seriously. added with the family going through stuff, what we going through, trauma. If you manage to get your walk in, reward yourself. There's no such thing as small achievements and small goals. Remember, there's something that you're doing in the morning that somebody wish they could do. So when you got your walk in, there's somebody that was sitting there crying their eyeballs out while you on your walk. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Oh, hi, everybody. Thank you. So there's been people, and y'all see how I'm layered up? Because y'all, I find that there is no workout if I don't sweat. Even when I walk, I have to sweat. So when I walk now, I actually wear double shirts. Now, of course, there's people that's out there like, is she crazy? It's 80-something degrees and she's wearing double clothes. I need my body to feel like it's in a sauna, y'all. Sweating gets rid of clogged pores. It even detoxes your scalp. Okay, I find that sweating literally levels you up. Like, how hard can you sweat? Like, this is the real, because in Egypt, they were sweating all day. Wasn't nobody saying, ooh, you stink because you sweating. Wasn't nobody saying that in Egypt. Even in the UK, they be sweating up a storm. Like, my friend came to see me, y'all, right? He didn't even care about the sweat. Y'all, he was sweating so hard and was totally unbothered. Y'all, he just couldn't take the sun because they're not used to a lot of sun, but they're used to humidity. His armpits was kicking so bad, but he couldn't smell it. Because where he was from, everybody's armpits be kicking, like be humming. So I had to tell him, I was like, you in North America, you have to wear deodorant. Now, you can sweat all day all you want, but you have to wear deodorant or somebody will talk about you. So I had to introduce him to deodorant. He had never been to America, to the U.S. He did not know. He was learning our culture, American culture and my culture and the culture within me. He was learning all that while he was here. But one thing I learned from him is how abundant you become when you like to be outdoors and you like to sweat. Don't underestimate the power of sweating. You ain't got to go hard in the gym. Just find a way to sweat, y'all. I'm telling you, no lie. Woo, child. I'm sweating up a storm right now. Look at the sweat, y'all. Praise the Most High. Okay. Somebody said, y'all, he was humming so bad. I ain't trying to hate on my friend, but his underarms was stinking so. Y'all, I ain't never smelled nothing like this, because who knows how long his underarms was stinking. Because I don't think he never wore deodorant. So his armpits wasn't deodorant trained. But he was really lean and ripped lean. He was built like the stoic dudes. Like when you see the pictures of the old school stoics, the slip like plateau, the skinny ripped ones. Y'all, he never went to the gym, y'all. He never went to the gym when he visited. But you know what he did? He walked everywhere. He would only take a bus. When he visited, he would be like, oh, where we going? I say to the museum. He'd be like, where's that? I'm like, on the other side. He'd be like, let's go. I was like, let's go. When he said we could walk from one side of the city to the other, y'all, I was like, he was like, I can do that. I said, I can't. Okay, I'm not from, I don't have a Greek body. I'm not, I had to let him know, y'all, let me tell y'all, I made it halfway with the dude who was like, no, we got to get the bus. This ain't gonna work. He was like, oh, come on. Y'all, he had me outside all day, every day. He never wanted to be in the house. When he left, like, I think it was 2 weeks after, no lie, y'all, if y'all saw pictures of me, you'd be like, you look like you're from the motherland. That's what she would say. I was so dark, y'all. I was so dark skinned. I looked so good, y'all, because he had me outside for 15, 16 hours a day, every single day, y'all. That when he left, y'all, my abs, no, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he transformed my body, but I had a washboard stomach. I had a little wee waist. It was just from like constant walking. So what I'm saying is, you don't need to go to the gym. I know some of y'all think y'all got to go to the gym. Y'all, I never went to the gym in my 20s and 30s, and I was ripped. Y'all, I could show y'all the pictures. I was not going to the gym. I was just walking my butt off, and that's just the truth. And my mother had a small waist and was real big, real tiny little waist. And it's just the walking. We underrate walking. You got to find a way psychologically to trick your body to value walking. We have been told so many times that it's not a big deal. Get the bus, get in your car. Instant gratification of getting where you need to go. No, you can't walk to the bus stop. Everybody will laugh at you. Somebody will think you broke. Back in the 90s, no one thought you was broke because you walked everywhere. I don't know how this got started. This cancel culture is toxic, y'all. Because they make you think if you don't got no car, if you walking all the time, you ain't got it going on or something. I don't know how that got started, but it needs to stop. People say we looked so good in the 90s. Well, we wasn't canceling people over any old thing. You wasn't being canceled because you was always using your feet to get around. Okay? If we didn't like something you said that day, oh, well, we didn't like it that day. We was like, tomorrow's a new day in the relationship. Tomorrow's a new day. If you didn't have a car, it doesn't matter. You got some money on the bus fare, we're going to walk 2-3 blocks to this bus stop. And then we're going to go half on the bus fare. That's how we did it. Get you some friends that don't mind renting a car when it's necessary. When it's necessary. If you need to go like 8 miles from your home, okay, you can rent a car. But I don't see the point of renting a car to go 4 miles. I just don't. I mean, our ancestors did it when they was like making nothing and washing toilets for a slave master. I don't understand why we can't do it. We say we want to look good. We want to look like we want the glorious glory beauty that they had. But we ain't doing it sitting in the house, y'all. It's never going to happen sitting in the house. I don't care if you got weights in your house. You're never going to get it sitting in your house. You can set up a whole gym. I know someone who has a gym in their house. You know what the gym in your house make you think? Well, I can always work out tomorrow because I got the gym here in my house. See? And then, where's your glow? Like, where's your improvement with your mental health? Just because you lift weights don't mean you're going to get that spiritual release that you need. But walking outside, it's a guarantee that you'll get it. It's a guarantee. I'm telling you, at some point, you're going to feel the weight come off of you. You just got to trust and keep walking till it do. Walk it till it go away. It will go away when you walk enough. But I have lifted weights, and I still was like, I still don't got the peace level that I need. Like, I still don't feel more connected to God. What about my connection to the Most High? Why don't it feel that strong? Yeah, I might got muscles, but where is my connection to God? Like, our ancestors in Africa, or Africa's in Egypt. Okay, so it don't matter where your ancestors came from in Egypt, or if your ancestors was right here in America. The point, what I'm saying, is in Egyptian times, okay, some of them was lifting weights all day, and they still wasn't high spirited. It still wasn't. See, spirit is what counts first and the most. Because someday, let's keep it real, y'all, some of us may get in bad accidents. We all ain't guaranteed to have arms and legs and eyesight till we die. Like, I'm just saying, y'all, all of us ain't. Okay? This community got what, at least 34,000 people on it? Some of the people on here is in wheelchairs, guaranteed. Some of the people on here, by the time they're in their 60s, they might get a leg amputated or something. So the point that I'm making is walking is something you always could do. Because you could do it sitting in a chair. Look. There's 90-year-old people in the nursing home doing this while they sitting in the chair. Okay? Get off the trend of, I gotta have defined muscles. You don't need that. All you need to do is feel at peace. And it be like legit peace. It ain't fake peace. It ain't alcoholic peace. That's fake peace. Not crack peace. Peace that you know that you don't really, that you don't gotta keep doing more to sustain. All you gotta do is protect it once you got it. See, the alcohol and drug piece, it wears off on its own. Then you got to do some more drugs, some more alcohol to get it. But walking, it ain't costing, look, it's not costing you no money. You ain't got to call the drug dude. You ain't got to call, I'm just saying, y'all, you ain't got to go and get some liquor. You ain't even got to see past the porch out. Really, you don't. You can be like, I'm skipping church for the next 3 weeks and I'm walking. I'm going outside. If it's sunny, I'm not going to church. I'm going to go to church, but I'm going to go to church with the sun. That's what I'm going to go, okay? I'm going to go walk where there's a lot of beautiful nature at, and instead of going to the church this weekend. I'm telling you, if more people walked 3 times a day, there'd be less Pastor Pork Chop with his Porsche, sitting up there with his fingers all greasy from his pork chops, cruising around in his Porsche. There won't be too many of them. Y'all. How y'all think we survived in ancient Egypt? You think we was allowed in the churches all the time? I mean, just think about it. Those pharaohs were so toxic. They wasn't letting us in there unless we had a lot of money to pay tribute to get in there. So what was we doing? We was walking around. We was dancing. We was singing. We felt like, look, if you feel like your life is falling apart, just go ahead and walk. I'm serious. It's like the cure for everything. It's so weird that it works that way. I'm not going to ask God for all the answers because I think that's a very, 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 very sacred Akashic record. But you can walk anything off. When the patients in the hospital, when everybody's in pain in a hospital and the doctors see everybody's getting worse, don't you know the doctor be sending those nurses to exercise everybody, to move everybody's legs and arms or get the patients to walk? They say no more newspapers for the patients. Get them walking up and down this hallway. I'm serious. Walking can literally save relationships. I had a whole relationship fall apart because the person did not want to walk with me. I know that's crazy. They didn't want to walk, y'all. They sat around and rotted. They was rotting because all they did was sit in the house. They didn't want to walk. I watched this happen right before my eyes, y'all. Hi, everybody. I mean, we sitting up here taking the sun for granted, y'all. There's going to come a time where we're not even going to be able to walk out in the sun. Supposedly 2030 is going to be 100 and something degrees every single day. According to the weather statistics, look it up. 2030, we're supposed to be dealing with dangerous, ultra dangerous temperatures of the sun. So why is we sitting around with only maybe about 6 years to go full throttle in the sun, as if we don't got that statistic already? Then we have the statistic with San Andreas, volcanoes that are overdue, that's most likely going to erupt in 2030 something, according to some of the high priests and stuff, what they said. Okay, Now that means some of us gonna come out of that with no legs, no arms, or whatever. So why are we acting like we could just go without the sun? I think that is like so disrespectful. Like to be like, I'm cool, I could just go here and sit all morning. I mean, you could go to your books. You can go to your book of scriptures, but don't you think that's going to a man-made thing before going to God? Like a book, somebody human made that with their hands. That come after you go to God above. That comes after. But we're doing it backwards. Some of us is waking up depressed and crying and running right to man-made things. And then we wonder why we're like struggling with our self-esteem. Like, you don't run the books first. When you run to God first, you run into yourself too. You run into the time of when your soul had no pain. That's what you run into. So you're not going to have no insecurity. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm not as smart as this guy, even though he's teaching me. How come I don't know this and he knows this? You're not going to feel that way. Because wasn't nobody involved but you and God when you go for those walks. I'm serious. One of the main things we got to protect when we wake up is our self-esteem. You know, the memories of all the things that were said to you that made you feel so insecure, they start coming back to your mind. You might have had a dream where people laughing at you and making fun of you. You might have had somebody shade you or withhold love from you the day before. You know that's going to bother you in the morning. So when you go to people before God, all you're doing is, you may not know, but adding to that shaky self-esteem that you got. That shaky high level is getting a little bit more shaky. So this is why I'm telling you, if you don't say, just look, if you're going through anything with narcissists, just say, I'm walking, I'm out of here. Like, just as soon as you even have a problem with a narc, and you 5 minutes in, okay? Or you're having problems with a sociopath, because those are the people that keep you in bondage. They keep you bonded to the crib. They keep you bonded to the blues in your house and sad and just hanging out in your kitchen, eating and hanging out in front of the TV. They put you in that bondage. When you start walking, you're getting power over their bondage spells. We think that there's just financial bondage. There is spirit bondage, y'all. There is spirit bondage. Remember, every kind of bondage that exists outside our body exists spiritually. It exists spiritually. Somebody said, oh, y'all, I got in the best shape of my life back in the 20s, because that's what I did. I swear to goodness, I made my boss eat my dust every single time she was toxic. She would get disrespectful. I would go, I want to take the residents for a walk. She would go, why? I would be like, ain't I allowed to take them for a walk? She'd be like, yeah, take them for a walk. She didn't even know that that's how I was surviving her. She didn't even know that's how I was fixing my cortisol levels that she jacked up. Is I kept taking the old people out for a walk. I did this, y'all, before and after lunch. I knew she was coming toxic right before lunch because she wanted to ruin my lunch break. I knew she was coming toxic after lunch so she could remove any spiritual health I did during lunch break. So what I would do is I'd make sure that I would go walk and I go, I'm going to go visit the residents. I'm going to walk to their rooms. We're going to go for a walk. That's what I would do. Don't you know, one day she was like, how do you put up with this? She was like, you got nerves of steel. Y'all, me not knowing that being divine, I was automatically listening to God. I couldn't give her the answer. I just said, I guess I'm just strong. She was like, I'm just wondering. And then the other characters were like, how do you deal with all the disrespect? How? And then the men were like, "Oh, you look good. Damn, you look good and stuff." Y'all, I'm telling you, men that had it made was trying to talk to me. I was not going to the gym, but I found every look. Can you imagine the thing about this, y'all? Look, this just hit me. This download is the truth. Can you imagine how good you would look if every single time somebody got toxic with you, you made them eat your dust and you went for a walk? If every single time, there's no way you would not burn a nice amount of calories. As much toxicity as we go through, as much. You talk to your parents, they flip and get toxic. Be like, "I'm heading out, Mom. I'm going for a walk." She'd be like, "Well, I'm going to make up a lie. Say I'm going to the store, Ma." I used to do it to my mother all the time. Yo, I'm telling you no lie. Back in my 20s, she would get to drinking. And in my teens, she would get a little vodka in. She'd start getting a little messy and stuff. I'd be like, whew. I ain't want to disrespect my mom, right? Especially in those days, you might get slapped a $10 too. So I would just be like, "Mom, I'm going to the store, going for a walk." And she'd be like, "Okay." I'd be like, you want something?" She'd be like, "Yeah, can you bring me back a drink?" Little did she know I was walking off her toxicity. I was walking it out. Somebody said that'd be a darn fox. I mean, we go through toxicity everywhere we go. Like, seriously, you can even feel the toxic thoughts. I mean, if you're divine, you can feel people's toxic thoughts. You walk near people, you're like, child, they just said something hateful about me or something negative. What if you said, "Let me go ahead and power up my walk a little bit"? That person sent me a negative vibration. Y'all, I'm telling you. That's how my daughter got through high school. My daughter was like, had people that would try to fight her and jealous people all the time. She would come home from school. I'd be like, "Everything okay?" She'd be like, "It's all right." And I would be like, she going through it. She don't want to tell me though. She'd be like, "Mom, I'm going for a walk." And y'all saw my daughter. My daughter got a swimsuit body. My daughter built from head to toe. Okay. No, my daughter went to funerals, and at funerals, people were like, "That girl bad." But my daughter will walk anywhere. It's crazy how much walking she do. I don't know how she making it though. Like, she won't even sit down at work. I'd be like, "Daughter, we're here to visit you." She'd be like, "Mom, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna keep on walking, Mom." I'd be like, "Dad." But when I looked up her chart, she has a very significant Zodiac sign that in a very significant place that says that her superpower actually gets activated from walking. Like, walking is like 10 times more beneficial to her. So she's already naturally doing it, so she do it even more. She has even extra benefits. For me and some of y'all, okay, we're getting into the spiritual side, okay? We're getting into the spiritual, where my spiritual team at, you know, people who are into the cosmos and stuff. Sometimes there's certain things in your chart that is low vibrational and is keeping you from walking. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. And that could be the missing piece to your breakthrough. It's the missing piece. The thing is if God is saying go for a walk, why are you ignoring it? You know you hear the Holy Spirit saying sometime, "You need to go outside and go for a walk." See, a part of our breakthroughs is learning how to listen to the Holy Spirit and be obedient. We don't need 10 times confirmation. We don't need confirmation from YouTube, Pastor Pork Chop, some random book open, nothing. When you hear that, when you feel like you got the ghost of situation, and use your feet to do it if you got to, then do it. You know, if you are divine, you are not wrong about ghosting using your feet. And you're not going to be wrong, okay? if the creator say this is toxic, time to go ahead and walk and go ahead and let the person eat your dust, then that's what you need to do. Don't try to push through. When you try to push through and you say, I got the feeling I gotta ghost this person and go for a walk, but maybe I can get them to see my point. You will always pay the price. Look, people can feel when they need to be ghosted. Like, I'm like, y'all, this is real. Like, people can feel when you need to walk away from them. Okay? People who are toxic, they're tuning into your energy too. So as soon as you don't walk away, as soon as you don't, and I say walk away, why am I tying this into walking? Because the morning walk isn't just about exercise. It's about freedom. It's also about freedom. Freedom from toxic situations. Everything starts to work out. You start to be like, I could pay that bill now. I could call that bill collector. Like, you'll be in that energy. You'll be like, I ain't even worried. Like, I know I look good. Like, even if you can't see it in the mirror, you will have the feeling of the manifestation. Because remember, feeling is just it. Feeling is just it. Now, when you're dealing with toxic people, if you keep talking, and you don't go and walk, and you feel like you need to walk, you set yourself back even manifesting, y'all. And you're actually giving them the power over your manifestation abilities. Why? Because if we're going to get spiritual, walking and running is fire energy. It's a lot to do with fire energy. Normally fire and earth, okay, and air, but a lot of fire. Why do you think the celebrities who do a lot of walking and sports, they look so good? Running and walking. You're saying, how do they look so good all these 20 years and I don't even think they got no work done? They walking, y'all, I'm telling you, you're just not seeing it. You're just not seeing it. Michael Jackson was interviewed one time. And you know what he said that he hates about being famous? That he can't go for a walk at the park. He wants to just go for a walk sometime by himself. You know, and just be with God and his feelings and his mind. But he can't. He's Michael Jackson. He got all these people channeling his energy while he's going for walks. So, what I'm saying is that you can still walk alone. I mean, you can. Unless you got a little baby, and a little baby's not in your way when you walking. And neither is a toddler. Neither is innocent. Innocent kids are not in your way energetically when you're walking. They're not. But can you imagine being a celebrity so big and you always got these people walking with you walking? So while you're able to still walk alone, because some of y'all might end up being real successful after all this knowledge and guidance you're getting from me and personal guidance with your charts and my channel. Within a couple years, some of y'all may have the biggest, fattest ultra breakthrough of your life. Money flowing in, raining on you like bananas falling. You're not going to be able to walk by yourself. You're not going to feel comfortable. You're not going to feel that comfortable. Look, you could get famous like that. Fame can happen at any time. There's no set time for fame. You could write something and boom, and go viral, you're famous. And then it's like, I can't walk by myself. I'm going to be followed, or somebody might come for me or rob me. But you can walk by yourself right now. You can set in some glorious beauty in peace right now. In peace, undisturbed. And then you can have that when you get your fame. And be able to milk that for years while you got bodyguards walking with you. At least you didn't get a lot of beauty and glory to you before you had to share your private walks with strangers who are bodyguards. I'm telling you, because the devil don't want you to walk. Look, when you go for a walk in that sun, you training your spirit to do the other journey that's attached to that. the manifesting or creative journey that you got to do. That becomes easier. Writers will tell you, great writers like me will tell you, once I get that walk in, I'm ready. The intimidation I'm ready. I'm like, okay, what do I got to do? I'm telling you no lie. If you really want to help your kids, get them up. Don't force them. First of all, walking happens when you need it to happen. Forcing yourself up early to walk is not going to work for you. That's another thing. Setting your clock to make you get up at 4 a.m. because all the influencers say get up at 4 a.m. and walk. You get up when you feel rested. You get up when you feel rested. Your circadian clock is personal. It's different than everybody else's. So I don't set my clock to other people. I set my clock to how I feel when I open my eyes. If I still feel like I need more energy, I'm still tired, I will maybe sleep another 30 minutes and then I'll get up and walk. But I never force a wokeness to walk. The walk just won't work, y'all. It won't work. It won't work. You'll feel like you're doing work instead of actually peace walking. You don't want the walk to feel like work. So that's why it's important to make sure that you're getting some sleep. Now, for some of y'all who say, I can't. I got to get up at 4 a.m. with a crying baby and all this other stuff. What I recommend is to schedule a nap time. Okay? You're going to have additional sleep time. So when the baby go to sleep, because babies like to sleep after lunchtime, they take a little nap around lunch, okay? All little babies do. You sleep when they sleep. You sleep when they sleep. And then you take the baby out for a walk with you. That way you still got your walk in, okay? That way, even though you didn't get your morning walk felt like work, you didn't get no real benefits. You was still fatigued when you was walking that morning walk because somebody woke you up at 4 a.m. too soon. By you getting that afternoon napping with the baby, when you do that walk is going to be beneficial. Okay? Because remember, some people, they sleep all the way up to lunchtime and then get up and got to go to work. Not everybody works in the morning. Not everybody's schedule different. So make sure you're choosing your morning walk according to when it's morning to you. When it feels like morning to me, it's when I'm more in control of it. I know that sounds kind of narcissistic. No, it doesn't. Because I'm royalty. I need to be able to control my morning. So when I feel like I'm more in control of when I get up and I feel rested, okay, then I feel like, okay, I'm waking up to a morning. But if I don't feel rested, I'm still waking up to the darkness. I'm still waking up to grief. Tremendous grief, too much grief. Whether it's loneliness, sadness, sickness, health, depression, fatigue, that's all grief. I want my grief level to be as low as possible when I wake up. And one way I can assure that is to be rested. Yeah. So it's best when you are listening to people coach you on morning health routines, you have to ask yourself, is this the best time and best for me? Because maybe my morning ain't morning. Maybe my morning when I get up, the way people force me up, maybe I'm still in the dark. Maybe I'm still on the slave chain gang or something. So maybe my morning is at a different time. Okay? You got to think about perception, the perspective of the mind and perception. The mind knows day and morning when you tell it. Okay? When you tell it. And it's going by feeling based. It relates the feeling to the time. If it don't match, the mind's going to be like, no functioning. They'll function and do something that ain't matching. What time you say it is ain't matching what you feeling, bruh. This is how people go insane too. You could go insane going on a schedule that your body can't deal with. Like the mind ain't matching the body. Like y'all, that's getting in deep. I've been there. Y'all, whoo, I was working a job that had me getting up at 12 a.m. And I was like, who, what, when, how, when? Yo, I sat at this table and was like, somebody had to pull my head up and was like, you got to go to work. I was like, they was like, come on, you can do it. I was like, this is unnatural. This is illegal. I was like, I'm going to have to go here to leave this job early. So I lasted all the way up to like a couple weeks before Christmas, and Carl was like, my body, my energy can't take it. I had to be fed the oatmeal, y'all. I was like this. Somebody was feeding me it. And then after I had the oatmeal and everything, it was like, y'all, I got pulled over by the police for suspicion of drunk driving. The police officer was like, are you drunk? Have you been drinking? I was like, no. He was like, well, somebody said you was driving in and out of lane or whatever. They were like, well, where you working at? And when I said where I worked at and what I did, the police officer was like, oh, no problem. Just, get some rest. The police officer was like, get some more, just be careful. Okay? Just try to, do the best you can. The police officer didn't even want to give me a ticket. The police officer was like, God help her. Getting up in the middle of the night like this and going to go do labor work. Y'all, no, it was not good. I got out of that. Never again. I don't want money that bad. Y'all, and let me tell you, it jacked my cortisol level. It jacked my cortisol levels up so bad. I put on like 30, 40 pounds. 30, 40 pounds like about 3 months into that job. It jacked me up. And I couldn't even walk, y'all. Like, when I did walk at work, it didn't work. That's how I know that, like how you start your day from the moment you open your eyes. Like, the moment you put your foot down on the ground and go walking. That matters. That matters on whether your exercise, walking, everything going feel like it's supposed to feel. So even though I was walking, the weird thing is, even though I was walking at work, I wasn't losing no weight. Because I was walking and I was way past high cortisol levels. I was way past fatigue levels. I was way past that the walking couldn't even help like it should. And when I left that job and I didn't do that schedule for the next year, I lost the 50 pounds that was all on my stomach. I lost it again. So I started to put the pieces together. So the first hour of your day, that first hour is critical. It don't matter what time you get up. A lot of people say 5 a.m. It don't matter. Your woke time is the time you woke up. Okay? Your day begins when you wake up. When you wake up. Not when everybody else's day begins. So you have to ask yourself, I woke up. Okay, this person woke up 2 hours ago, so that's why they don't care. They can be toxic. They don't mind being toxic. But I just woke up. So we ain't matching. The energy that they in and the time ain't matching mine. But I got to make sure that they understand that my first hour woke matters just as much as their first hour woke. But whatever they decided to do, whether it was wicked, if they were working on some wicked manifestation, that's on them. But whatever I'm trying to manifest matters to me too in my first hour. I gotta have the energy and the power like they have to have the energy and power when they wake up. So me ghosting this person and dusting this person and leaving them in the dust, I'm not being mean. I'm making it fair. I'm making it fair. They winning in the first hour and I'm winning in the first hour. Everybody happy around here. Everybody happy. Y'all. And here's another thing I found out. If you are living in property that is not yours and that somebody has control over, you definitely gotta walk. You definitely gotta go off and walk a lot. Cause even if the person is not disrespecting you, that person, the fact that you ain't got no say, okay, the fact that you ain't got no say, like if your name ain't on the deed of the mortgage, the fact that you don't got no say, that gives you anxiety. It's going to automatically give you some fatigue sometime. So that means you got to treat that place like it's just a place to eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom, and maybe do a little bit of work in private. You got to keep on walking away from that place. I don't care if the place belongs to your boo, your mama, your daddy. Your name's not on the deed, okay? Your name, I know how spiritualism works. Them contracts is spirit too. When you sign contracts of property, your spirit is involved. That person will always have spiritual power over you. Their name's on the deed and yours are not. Okay? So, this is why I highly recommend, until you can buy your own home, where you could put your name on that deed, you rent an apartment. You rent an apartment. Because you have say, you pay rent. When you are renting a room off someone, and your name is not on the deed of that place, they still have the last say. They still have the last say. They still, and people get into that, this is my house type of energy. But landlords don't do that. Landlords don't do that, because you ain't the first person that they rented to probably. And you probably ain't going to be the last. They're in a business. This is a business thing. But when you renting a room off a home that's owned by a family member and your name is not on the deed, they will not respect your spirit like a landlord would. They will do worse to your spirit. They will do worse to your boundaries. Somebody said leases become leashes. Oh, Karen, you make me laugh every time you show up in this chat. Why you gotta be so funny though? Somebody said, Karen said, leases become leeches. I'm telling you, leashes. I'm telling you. If I know what I know now, I would rather have an apartment. I will never ever rent an apartment off somebody that I know. If you rent an apartment off somebody that you know, they ain't making a business. I'm telling you, there's personal in there. There's spirit, personal behavior coming in there. I'm serious. If you rent a place off somebody whose name on the deed and your name ain't on the deed, they also not going to respect you spiritually, y'all. So, I made those two mistakes, and when I tell you, I paid the price. So, woo, child. And there's only but so much walking you could do in that situation as well. So, back in the 90s, y'all, we was always out because we knew this. What I'm telling y'all right now, we knew that our parents were always hanging their house over our head. This is my house. This is my apartment. Even when they were wrong, it was, this is my house. Even when they was disrespectful or disrespecting our boundaries, this is my house. That's what we always heard in the 90s. So we was never home. We treated our parents' homes in the 90s like it was just a place to sleep, eat, and go to the bathroom and do our homework. That was it. Sad to say, some of you got to do the same. Some of you got to do the same. Some of you might be, you're going to have to leave and walk. Find a way to walk so that you ain't deer. If ain't what you don't know, what you ain't deer can't hurt you like it can hurt you when you deer. Like, I'm just saying, y'all. Find a way to just not be deer. And one of the best ways is walking. You don't need no money to walk. You don't need no money to walk. Like, walking is so free. I know the fact that I don't gotta ask nobody permission for walking. I don't have to ask. Yo, I just don't. Like, unless I got a desk job. Okay, now, and even employers are like, long as you get the work done, you can walk your butt off up and down this aisle. Long as you get the work done. Somebody said, I was so glad. And that's why we all look good. We wasn't even trying to look good in the 90s. Let's just, who was a teenager in the 90s? Let's come on, admit it, y'all. We wasn't trying to look good. We just look good because we was walkers. We was travelers. It was like we were still in ancient Egyptian time, traveling and traveling and traveling constantly. I think that traveling is underrated. It's underrated. I know for a fact many of us will look much better if we had a travel channel. Y'all, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. I literally got a download this week that said God want to make people abundant from traveling. I don't know for in what way for everybody, but supposedly abundance can come through traveling. So find a reason to travel. Look, this is how I find a way to travel to get my body movement. I give myself a purpose for the walk. If you don't have a purpose for the traveling, the walk, then you'll just give excuses. You'll talk yourself out of it. So for me, like I take a camera. I'll say I'm gonna be a photographer. I think we all need to have one hobby that require us to walk. Like, it don't gotta be like your main dream. You just be like, I'm walking to take some pictures. Like, do you know you can include pictures in everything you do? Like, literally, you could put pictures on your record label. You could put pictures in your book. You could put pictures on your YouTube. Get a camera, and say, I'm going to take photography, because photography is good for my health. It's peaceful, it's solitude, it's inspirational, it makes me brilliant, I get ideas, and I get in shape all at the same time. And I get in touch with God all at the same time. I mean, how more abundant can it get? Like, photography, like, let's keep it real here. Like, like, you're getting everything at one time, you know? My daughter is a photographer. She's a graphic artist. And she loves walking and taking pictures with her cell phone and her expensive cameras. I don't know if I told y'all this, but my daughter has, I think, associate's degree, certification in graphic design. And she got a $65,000 scholarship in photography. My daughter did. My daughter is fit. Y'all saw her little wee waist. She's real curvy. But she walks everywhere and takes pictures. Everywhere. Yeah, it's important. Like, and I know some of y'all say, but in the Egyptian times, they didn't have photography. When they was discovering those mummies, they did. And they used to stop and write on the stones. That was their way of documenting their journey. So the stone writing was their form of photography. They would as they were traveling, they would stop and see a stone, and then they would draw pictures on the stone. It was sort of like documenting their journey, like taking a picture. So, you know, I find it funny that we don't have photographers. Everybody's not a photographer. Everybody should be a photographer. like everyone. As much as we've all sat in the house cooped up during the last few years, everybody needs to be a photographer for at least 1 year so they can save their cortisol levels. They can do something about it. I mean, we used to do that in the 90s. We would walk around, and once we got to a stone, you know, we would go collecting stones and see how many beautiful stones we could collect. You have to find ways to make yourself walk. We have a false sense of safety with our homes. We're too close, clinging to them too much. It's gotten toxic. The dependency we got on our home is toxic now. We're having toxic relationships with our home, and we don't want to admit it. We don't. But it's true. We say because my home is beautiful, I'm not being. It's just not a toxic. Yes, it is. If it's keeping you from God all the time, it's toxic. It's a toxic relationship. You see what happens when they stop having Polaroids? Everybody started getting chubby. When we stop having Polaroid cameras and throw, the instant cameras, now everybody chubby. Everybody chubby. Because everybody like, oh, I don't got to go for a walk. I'll just go on the internet and pay for the picture. I don't have to take pictures of any flowers. I'll just go on the internet and buy some pictures of flowers while I sit my butt in the house another hour. Our privileges, y'all, we're a little bit too privileged. I guess I'll be the first one to say it. We're a little bit too privileged. We sitting around saying we ain't privileged, but we are, y'all. We are way more privileged than we were in the 90s. A lot of people say things are worse. No, it's worse because we out of control with our privileges. We out of control with it. We're not having no balance with our privileges. Like, it's a privilege to be able to sit on this internet and look up everything and not have to walk. To just sit there and have your hands be able to get everything you want. That's a privilege. But we out of control. It's going to our head. Yeah, it's so sad. and all this taking pictures of ourselves, y'all. I'm telling you no lie. That's how the manifestation is being vanquished. That's how you lose vibrations of your manifestation. I'm telling you no lie. Like, we need to go back. We need to go back to the simplicity, the simple use of things. We're using these phones for everything. Pictures of what we look like at the moment, every moment of our day, every conversation we're having with people, everybody that we see, everything. We out of control with these privileges. We out of control with it. It's even the book covers are giving me a headache. Y'all look at the covers of the books, I'd be like, Dad. Woo! I be like, what happened to the minimalism with the book covers? Like, what happened to, like, you pick up a book back in the 90s and it'd be like a little photograph on the book and that would be it. Now you look at these book covers and it's like all this stuff. You be like, what the heck is going on here? We're doing too much, y'all. We're doing too much. Somebody said lovers of themselves. Really? Can you explain what? What do you want me to explain? Most High. We got members in the house. What's up? Most High's in the house. Who else is in the house? Most High love. Yours truly's here. Any members, feel free to, speak. What do you want me to explain? Y'all, look. The vibrational strength, the strength of the vibration of your manifestation, it has to be protected. If there's anything that can put doubt in your mind, the strength starts to fade away. This is why it does require for you to stop taking pictures of yourself or that which is not of what you are manifesting. So, this is getting into deeper. That's getting into like advanced levels of manifesting the Akashic. Right, we'll get into that, y'all. I'm going to start doing some mega. I might have to rent a place offline and have people buy tickets to come because I got too much information on manifesting. Um, it's in my chart that I'm supposed to teach it, so I can't get too deep. But the strength of it needs to be protected. Most people just protect the vision, but they forget about the strength and other things. And seeing anything that can, seeing anything, even yourself, regularly, that can make you think the process is not happening fast enough, or it may not happen, or you're overrating the process. If you have anything that's telling you that, then you lose it. This is how people be like in the flow state. They manifesting it, and then all of a sudden just stop. They may have unfinished manuscripts. They have unfinished artwork. They have unfinished projects. That happens a lot because of that. Too much mirror watching. Too much mirror watching. As a matter of fact, back in the 90s, we didn't look in the mirror all day. We just checked. We looked to see how we looked on the way out, and that was it. We did not really carry these big clumpy case mirrors that I see the women today carrying around, and these big old hobo bags. We wasn't doing that, y'all. This is a lot of us. We carried purses like this back in the 90s. You see this purse? You see this purse? Look how little this purse is. Y'all, I got me a Madden purse. I'm trying to support him. He doing pretty good. They doing pretty good, Y'all, I don't buy purses of I don't buy stuff from people that's been around a long time anymore. I'm not trying to make the filthy rich any more filthy richer. So I don't buy Louis Vuitton. Like, they're already filthy rich. I'm not about making them any more richer. So I buy companies where people, are having breakthroughs, like this guy, Madden. Madden's having a breakthrough of his life they've been having for the last few years. So I bought a purse to support them. But this is about the size of the purse we had, maybe a little bigger. So we was able to carry a little mirror, like this. And we might have had an instant camera in there, but the instant film, you could pay, it costs like $10 for the camera, okay? And then it was a throwaway camera. You could get the pictures developed, and then you just throw away the camera. Now, the camera was small enough to fit in something like this, but we only used it when we really needed to use it, like for special occasions, going to concerts, holiday parties, seeing friends we ain't seen in a long time, or something like that. Otherwise, we really wasn't, or if we was a photographer, we had a project that we used the camera. But our mirrors were small, and we only looked at them to check our lipstick, or that was it, okay? Like, we wasn't all this mirror stuff. When you taking selfies all the time, that's no different than looking in the mirror over and over again. I don't know why people don't realize that. When you're like this, like, you got to take a selfie every day or throughout your week, and you already looked in the mirror when you got dressed that morning, you're getting into narcissism. It is, y'all. You're watching the mirror. You're being like Gaston from Sleepy Hollow, from the movie Sleepy Hollow. Some people may not know that movie. If you're too young, you might be too young to know the movie Sleepy Hollow. It has this arrogant dude in it named Gaston, and it has Ichabod in it. Gaston, he was like, the type that would always look in the mirror. A lot of people are saying they ain't looking in the mirror because it's not an actual mirror. But this is a mirror. I can see myself as I'm talking to y'all. So all the selfies is still looking in the mirror. You can say it any way you want to say it, but it's still mirror watching. Yeah, this is all, why we had small purses? because we wasn't vain, y'all. We wasn't. The women know their purses is luggage. Why? Because they insecure. I'm just keeping it real. Like, insecure. Like, they need all this different makeup, all this different hair ingredients. They all paranoid about everything, about this and that. So they got all this, they luggage. No, a lady's purse is this is it. You got your main lipstick, your main lip gloss. You got room for a sanitary napkin. 2 or 3. We keeping it real. We grown in here. If you need more sanitary napkins than that, then you outside too long. Actually, in the old days, even in the 90s, when women was under, menses or whatever you want to call it, they wasn't running around a lot. The women in the 90s wasn't running around a lot during that time. So there was no need for us to carry jumbo purses. We wasn't sitting up with guys all night long and all day when we were in our menses. We were like, no, as a matter of fact, we hung out with our girlfriends at that time. We were like, no, I don't want to see no dudes. I don't want to see everybody. The only time I'm going to carry a bigger purse in my menses is when I go to work. Other than that, I'm staying close to home because I really ain't trying to be out here with a purse, a big purse full of pads. I'm not doing it, So, y'all, this is real talk, adult conversation. So, ladies, we have to get back to that. The women, the feminine energy, we don't walk a lot, but we want to sit up with a man a lot. So, I don't mean no harm, but a lot of women are looking bad because we don't walk. Okay? A lot of men, they like to lift weights. Okay? They're not going to walk too much. Most men ain't going to walk too much. But a woman, you should be doing all that walking. The Empress walks her butt off. She walks all around the garden, the kingdom. She looks at the vegetables. She walks through the city talking to the sick, the poor, the kids. She's a walking something. So it always surprises me when I don't see too many women walking. And then they wonder why they like 300, like they big as the dude they with. Yeah. Women retain more water than men. But don't get it twisted. We can end up having too much water. Yeah, we need the water because we are abundant like the sea. So we're going to have more water. Water keeps you beautiful and youthful and young. That's why God gives us so much water, more water than men. But we walking around with too much water. We ain't walking enough. We was walking around the house and said, that's enough. I walked around the house. That's not enough. Burning 100 calories a day walking around your house, y'all, I'm telling you, it's not enough. It's not. Let me tell y'all. I went for a walk talking to y'all earlier, right? That little 17, walking around my house this morning, getting things together, and then talking to y'all for 17 minutes while walking. I burned 279 calories. Somewhere close to that, at least 200. If you burn at least 200 calories and you're eating 1,800 calories and you're a woman and you're over 5'5", you'll be good. You ate 1,800 calories, you burn almost 300 calories. That means you're going to bed at the end of your day with 1,500 calories in you. Now y'all see why it's important for a woman to walk. The average woman's body today feels like it needs 1,800 calories every day because the food is not as abundant as it used to be. It's not working like it used to be. So you feel like you got to eat more. Like you feel like, okay, when I eat 1,800 calories, I feel like I'm not hungry. I feel like I ate enough. But 1,800 calories, unless you are lifting weights, ladies, the 1,800 calories will give you a PUFA. It will give you a FUPA. It's going to give you one. Now, I just recently figured this out. I'm not a genius in this. I just recently figured it out. Because I did a test. Every time I eat 1,500 calories, it's like, don't work. But when I hit that 1,750 calorie mark, I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what my body needs. So then it tells me something in the food now is just not as abundant working. So you have to eat more of that certain food or whatever. Who knows? It could be me chemically, but I think we all going through it. Some people got problems with their protein synthesis. Some people got problems with their vitamin D, vitamin B. So they got to eat a little extra of this or that or this or that. But most women in America eat between 1,800 and 2,000 calories now. Period. Period. Unless they're already on the really skinny end, like already very lean. And even they are like juicing it up, juicing it to keep their energy up. Okay? So the point what I'm saying is most of us burn energy faster now. We do. We're working harder. We're stressing harder. Okay? The stress is harder. So if you're hitting that 1,800 calorie mark, most people are, because there's hidden calories. We are not being told the truth. Some of these foods got more sugar and more stuff in it, and we're not being told. They can actually, y'all, that's a whole nother subject, but you hit that 1,800 calorie mark. If you burn 200 calories and you're walking hills, say you're walking hills, you got some hill walking in too, you're going to look pretty good at 1,600 calories. Eventually, when you get to that 160 calorie mark and you're like 5'5" and up, you're going to look pretty good. I know this for a fact because I was 160 when I had a washboard stomach. Like, okay? No fold, no flab, no nothing. When my sister had the same, she was fat. My sister's 5'6" and she was about 160 pounds. Same thing. So, but it's like hard to get there when you're working and you're stressing and you got a slave job and you know your cortisol levels are being jacked up on and off. So what I realize is if you're going to hit that 1,800 calorie mark, which you're great, there's a high percentage chance that you are. If you're a woman, you might as well make it healthy. You might as well be like, okay, I'm going to eat I'm gonna eat 400 calories. I'm gonna hit 1,800 calories, 400 calories more. I'm gonna make sure that it's at least fruit and protein. I'm gonna make sure that it's fruit and protein. I'm not going to add it with carbs because after so many carbs, it's like no different than you had so much sugar. Okay. I had somebody tell me you got to be careful how many carbs you have. So that additional 300 calories, you need to try to get it from like organic fruit or natural fruit or fruit and protein. That way, you know, you definitely hit your protein mark and you're not really, you know, spiking your carbs too high. But if you go for that morning walk, if you do a YouTube video, okay, you get on YouTube, you're talking for 30 minutes. After you walked and showered, walked around your house, you cleaned and you prepared your house. You took some laundry down to the laundry room. You took some stuff upstairs. You know, you walked around and sanitized your house and everything. And then you go for that walk, that 30, 40-minute walk. You will have been burned like 200 calories. So you'll go to bed with 1,600 calories in you. At least you might be a little thick, but you won't be real chubby. You will not be real chubby. And at least you'll be able to look down and be like, oh, my belly ain't big. I ain't got no big belly. So I'm cool. I might got some thick thighs. My thighs might be a little thick, but my belly is not that real big, you know. So yeah, exactly. So I don't. One thing I found out from my friend who's been ripped their whole life is like try to avoid like grains, a lot of grains before you go to bed as your last meal. Like my friend who's been ripped their whole life, like he's in his 60s, he's always been ripped. Okay. The last meal he has is normally salmon, greens, and he might have some table wine. Okay, he doesn't. This is after he went dancing or walking, or he, if he did a little extra work around the house or whatever. If he eat a little extra calories before he goes to bed, it's always a salad, spinach or something with a piece of salmon, and he might have a short glass of table wine. That's it. That's it. When I was eating exactly like him, I literally the weight was just coming off. I don't know why I stopped. I got involved with toxic family members and the arguing and all that, and then I just forgot the whole diet. But his lunch diet, I'm sharing his lunch. He's in his 60s, so he knows what he's talking about. He's been ripped his whole life. His when I picked him up, I'm trying to remember what I saw in the morning when I picked him up. He had, I think, like one pack of oatmeal, one pack with eggs. I think it was one piece of bacon. And he had like a real teacup, small teacup of coffee, or he had tea with it. And he had some fruit. He had about 30 grams of protein only with one pack of oatmeal. And that's how he ate. And that was his breakfast. This guy was ripped. I mean, he had muscles, okay? Like, you would think, like, how is he not ripped if that's how he eat? You would not believe how someone can be ripped and they're not even eating a lot of food. He would go long periods of time during his day walking and riding his bike all day long, all the way up till lunchtime, y'all. I'm talking about walking for an hour, riding his bike for an hour, at least, every day. Then he would work on cars for about 2 hours or whatever, 3 hours at least, And then he would have lunch. When he had lunch, it would be a sandwich. When he was working on my car one time, he came out, he had a sandwich. It was a corned beef sandwich, I think. But you know what he did? He took a piece of the bread off. He said it was too much carbs. So he ate an open face. He ate an open face sandwich. Open face. The funny thing is my friend from Sweden, he used to eat the same way. He used to eat, one of his meals was an open face sandwich. And then that's what he did. But he ate fruit. He ate like 2 pieces of fruit in the middle of his day while he was like walking and riding his bike. And then he liked to have a piece of candy between lunch and dinner. Okay, he would have one piece of candy. I mean, talk about discipline to eat one piece of candy. But he would have a piece of candy and maybe some seeds, a couple little bit of seeds. That would be his snack between lunch and dinner. And then if it was too late and he was running around a lot, he would have a small orange as a snack. He would literally have an orange in his head, and that would be a snack. And then dinner, as I said, he would have salmon and spinach. If he ever had rice with his dinner, it was like literally a little bit. We're talking about the amount you put to feed a little kid. That's how little bit of rice he would have with his dinner meal. And he would have table wine. So he was a guy eating, I think, no more than 1,800 calories. He was eating no more than 1,800 calories. And I think, like, sometimes 1,900, I'm estimating. But he went to bed with pretty much 1,600 calories in his body. When I asked him how much he weighed, he said, I normally weigh between 160 and 180. Now, he was taller than me. I'm 5'7", he was like 5'10". Okay? Somewhere like, I no, I'm sorry, like he was 5'9", 5'8". But he also lifted weights 2 days a week. 2 days a week. So them 2 days that he lifted weights, he would eat more food. He would eat a little bit extra. I think he would eat like 1,900 calories on them 2 days. He never went over 1,900 calories, even on his workout days. And he literally had, like, he was like this, y'all. When I tell y'all he was like this, okay? But he never ate more than 1,900 calories. So what does that go to tell you? Like, you don't need a lot of food to get ripped. You don't even need 2,000 and 2,020 calories or 2,400. You don't need that. You just need to make sure that you're, like Cole Robinson said, you're running your body hot between the meals. So you're walking, you're doing bicycling, you're eating your fruits and a little bit of protein, maybe a little bit of beef jerky or a little bit of nuts. You're running that body hot like we did in the 90s. I literally recently just figured it out. Like, I ran my body hot before I got on this video. I had me a half a croissant with some mozzarella cheese with some honey on it. And I had me some pineapple and orange juice. I had a cup. And I had me some Gatorade. Okay? Snake juice, electrolyte Gatorade. So I ran my body hot. Okay? And I had already went on a workout. I walked around. Now, I didn't burn 300 calories. Now, if I was doing this the whole time, y'all would say, is she crazy? But guess what? I would have burned, by this time, another 200 calories if I would have been like this the whole time. See? I ain't got to walk around. I don't understand why they don't do this in high school with the kids. They need to, at some point during the classrooms, the morning classes, they need to say, everybody take a break, and we're going to all just do this in the chair. They need to make this a requirement in high school, in middle school, because our middle school kids are getting obese. They're too big. The teachers need to say, literally, the class before lunchtime, say, come on, everybody. The last 20 minutes of this class, we're going to do this. Okay? We're going to sing a couple songs that we learned while we do this. Or somebody's going to read a poem. Read the poem that they see. Or somebody's going to tell a story. We each going to have a time telling a story while we're doing this. Seriously. You could cheat. You could that's the way you do it. You can cheat the weight off. Cheat it off. You watching TV with somebody? Serious. Now, people going to think you're crazy. You can't love the walk if you don't walk more often. The more you walk, the more you love it. You need to build the burning desire for anything to be able to make it a daily habit or a habit that you do through your day. You have to put it in everything. Literally, if you want to get, I'm telling you, this is what we used to do in the 90s. We couldn't even talk without doing this. Yeah, we was walking around talking. Yeah, walking in circles around each other while talking. Out in the streets doing that. In the middle of the night sometime. 2 a.m. in the morning, we'd be out in the street. Yeah, walking around. Now, of course, people today will be like, oh, you're crazy. You know what you say? I bet you any money I end up looking better than you. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that within 6 months, you're going to wish you did what I did. You're going to wish that you went insane doing it. Like, you did it to an insane level. Like, If you was insane, if you was an insane walker, totally obsessed, out of control with it, well, what would you do? You'd be walking around talking on your phone all day while walking. You'd be while you texting, walking. While you watch TV, you'd be doing this. What I found out is people that become masters and achieve things, they're actually insane about it. They reach an insane level with it. It's to the point where people can say, you've lost your mind. But who cares? You say, at least I'm getting the results. At least I'm getting results. I'm not wasted. I'm getting the results in less time. At least I'm getting the results. Exactly. Just, look, reward yourself for everything. I know that sounds crazy, but literally, reward yourself for everything. People say, I can't do that. That's conceited. No, it's not. You're royalty. Start acting like it. Well, I just walked 3 miles. Reward. I just did 2 YouTube videos. Reward. I just cleaned my room from head to toe. Reward. I know people are like, wait a minute, hold up. Is it not going too far? No. Can you imagine the self-love you will grow? How much value you will start to have in yourself? The fact that you can keep rewarding yourself when you know you've been a people pleaser and codependent. If you're divine, you've been there, okay? Let's not lie about it. If you're divine, you know you was in that energy where you was codependent and a people pleaser a little bit too much at some point in your life. So you owe yourself way more rewards, okay, than you got. You really do, like you do. So there's no goal achieving. You decide whether what you achieved is too small. But why even decide that? Why not say everything I do is big? I'm needed in this world. I'm special. There ain't nobody like me out here. So everything I do in this world, everything I achieve, it's a big deal. Because there's nobody, this is getting deep. There's nobody in this world that looks like me. That it's me. That could. No one. I can look around here and I will never find another Victoria genetically or with my story and my life experiences that could say that they did it. They will never match me with here. So I'm special. The fact that I have done it. So that's why it's a big deal. Somebody said they saw a guy in a train. I'm telling you, don't lie. We used to use anything when we was growing up. We did, y'all. When we wanted to show off that we were strong, we would use anything. I remember we didn't have ropes one time, right? We wanted to do double dutch. We went and found some fallen wires, somebody's wires, some electrical wires that was laying on the ground. We got an electrical wire cutter, okay, so we wouldn't get shocked. And we took those wires and we used those for double dutch. I remember we did that, y'all. It's I don't understand, like, why we're not, I don't know what happened, but all I know is that you have to pay for the manifestation. The more you pay, the more likely you're going to get it. You have to pay with as many times of doing it as well. So if you're trying to manifest your poofagon, guys or girls, then you have to pay. It's with as many times doing what you need to do. Walk 4 or 5 times a day. You got some favorite creators you listen to? Say, when I listen to them, I'm walking. Or I don't deserve to listen to them. When I listen to them, I have to be walking. This is my walk coach. This is my walk coach. We need walk classes, y'all. I'm serious. They need to get these kids, they need to get these kids out of some of them classrooms and have them walking. So we're going to walk to the park. I don't understand why these teachers are teaching kids in these buildings when they can literally take these kids to the park and teach them. They can literally say, everybody pack a blanket, a pillow, and your favorite little snack. We're going to go ahead and take this. We're going to go ahead and take today's lesson 3 days a week. We're going to take it to the park. We're going to walk. We all going to walk there. Y'all know that my community, they make the kids walk. You know, I don't see too many other communities doing it. My community here, the art classes, the teachers make the kids walk to do the art. I be seeing them, y'all, walking with their little stuff. I be like, they walking down the street. The band director be like, we gonna walk. The band director, he doesn't wait till the shows. You know how some band directors will be like, we gonna wait, we gonna walk outside when we do the parades. This band director over here, he makes the kids walk. He teaches them outside. I said he making sure that they fit. He don't want his musicians to be chubby. He makes them walk outside up and down all these streets with their instruments. I be like, woo! The parents don't say nothing either. They be like, well, it's good for them. So if that's what the band director want to do. Because the other day I said, wait a minute, there ain't no parade. Why is they outside with the instruments, big old tubas on their shoulders and stuff? And I said, I guess the band director dude, he don't want them to be out of shape. So he got them walking these hills and stuff. Like, woo. Somebody said, walk, coach. I'm telling you, no lie. That's why, y'all, I'm not doing too many of these sit down videos. See this? I gotta do this. And I keep forgetting to do this while I'm talking to y'all. Do you realize how easy it is to forget to walk when you're not outside? When you go outside, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna walk now. Yeah, look, ooh, nice tree up there. Ooh, I could go to the store and get me a bag of nuts. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and walk. But when you sit around your house, you start to think you ain't gotta walk. Like you don't remember to walk. When you sitting and doing this, you like, I'm not thinking about it. Like I just realized how easy it is to not care about walking when everything you do is at your desk. I'm eating at my desk. I'm talking at my desk. I'm writing at this desk. I'm surfing on a cell phone. The more you do that, the less you'll think about walking. But when you go outside with your cell phone, you're like, yeah, I might as well walk. I'm outside. So that's why, y'all, I'm being the walk coach from now on, y'all. I can't do this. See this here? This gave me anxiety just sitting here talking like this. I could never be that kind of teacher. I don't know how the teachers do it. They like to sit at their desk a lot, only, and keep standing in the same place, writing on the same place on the board. I don't know how they do it. We had a science teacher like that. He would just stand in the same place in elementary school. I forget his name. Mr. DeFlippo. I think that was his name. He would stand in the same place every single day and sit at his desk. And he was a real chubby dude. And it never dawned on me, like, why was he so chubby in the 90s? Like, what's up with that? When all the rest of the teachers were skinny. But all he did was sit at his desk and stand in the same place. That explains it. He wasn't walking up and down the board. He wasn't walking up and down the aisles and looking at the work that everybody's doing. He was just sitting there at his desk with his little notepad, not getting no exercise. Y'all, what is y'all, this is gonna sound so scary, and I hope this don't scare y'all, but this is how I feel. What is the point of living if I'm not exercising? Life just feels like it's not worth living without exercising. Like, I don't know how these people are making it just sit in their jail cell all the time. Like, I feel like, am I actually alive, or am I just like a zombie? Am I really dead or something? Because why am I not outside? Like, why am I not outside for weeks? This is how I know that a lot of these people who are toxic, who never ever go outside ever. Y'all, I don't mean no harm, but I don't trust them people. I don't trust them. I get danger signs like danger, Will Robinson, danger. You know, like the movie, The Robinsons. Danger, Will Robinson. I get danger signs. It makes me think that they really gone out their mind. The devil got them. The devil really got them. Like, I think we need to be asking people, when's the last time do you go outside every day? Or they be like, no, I'll be in the house like 80-90% of the time. Be like, no, we can't be friends, bro. We can't be friends. Even if you don't mean to hurt me by your toxicity, I just ain't trying to put up with it. Even if you are not even aware that you demonic because you just constantly sit in the house, I don't want to be exposed to it. Y'all, it's not about me discriminating against homebodies, but I don't want to be your unpaid therapist whenever you want me to be. You know, you using me, you release it on me like you release it into the sea or something. And you wouldn't even need me if you just go walking. If you go walking outside, you won't even need to dump on me. We need to start pointing the finger at these narcissists and say, get your butt outside and take a walk. That's why you toxic. We need to start doing that, y'all. Like, soon as people get into that, what was me, and being all negative, and cold. What I find helps to burn those 300 calories, because most of us are consuming at least 300 extra calories a day. Like, if you're in America, let's keep it real. They're not telling us about how much butter, sugar we're being lied to. It's not. The packages aren't even accurate. So I find that having a playlist of your favorite influencers, you know, and videos and actually having a few videos that actually make you laugh. Okay, that actually make you laugh. That will help you with your walk. So listening to comedy on your phone, especially around lunchtime, or to your favorite poems be read while you're walking. It has to be a lot of stuff that you really enjoy. Like, this playlist should be at least 2 hours long. That way you can get a 2 hour walk in every day. You don't have to do the walk all at once, the 2 hour walk all at once. You just gotta make sure that you get 2 hours in. What I found out is that it's not always about how long you walk. It's about how often that you walk. So, like, say I want to get 2 hour walk in a day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I walk 30 minutes now, 30 minutes at lunch, 30 minutes before dinner, 30 minutes after dinner. At least I got the 2 hours in. In is in, y'all. Hi, everybody. Some of y'all may not have the energy or the patience or whatever to do a 2 hour walk. So some of y'all may benefit from just breaking the walk up into bite-sized pieces. One way you'll know if you got your 2 hour walk in a day is go online and look up how many steps, how many calories burned equals how amount of time that you walked. So just look up online at a chart to see if you walk for 2 hours, what's the estimated amount of calories you will have burned. So let's say you just say, I just want to be able to get a 2-hour walk in every day. And then you say, well, that 2 hours, it says I burned 300 calories from my 2-hour walk. Then all you're going to do is look at your step counter. See that? Let me show it again. And you're going to say, by lunchtime, you're going to see how many calories you burn. So if it shows 200, then okay, I probably got maybe another 45 minutes to an hour walk I got to do, because 300 calories is burned in 2 hours. So I'm just using this as a theory, hypothesis, y'all. To kind of, just to give an example as a theory. So then you say at lunchtime, well, before bedtime, I got to be able to get another hour walking. So what if I walk 30 minutes at 3 o'clock, from 3 to 4, I walk 30 minutes. And then from 6 to 7, I walk another 30 minutes. And then I have dinner. Then I work out. I might get a little body workout in, calisthenics. And then I eat dinner and I go to bed. That would probably work. Okay? So I'm just giving y'all some ideas with the walking. I wouldn't try to just go hard like, I'm just going to get a 2-3 hour walk in this morning like they say. Let those influencers go here. And some of them, they got the time. They making buku money on their channels. They go 2-3 hours. They cool. They getting the views. They might be living off somebody. They got it made. But some of y'all got to grind a little bit harder like I do. You might got more than one side hustle like I do. You ain't got time to be walking 2-3 straight hours. Especially if you are the house cleaner like I am. Especially if you got kids on top of it, or a sick, or a spouse is unhealthy. No, break it up into buckets. Same thing with anything you do. Even with writing. Say I want a 2-hour writing in today. Means I write 20 minutes now, 20 minutes in a couple hours, another 20 minutes, another 20 minutes, and then, I break it all up till I got my 2-hour writing in. The thing I found out is you want to be careful of how much pressure you put on yourself when you do anything. Okay? I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This content is not for fair use. Please don't reuse this content without my express permission. There is some additional information that I want to give on this topic, but you're going to have to be a member. You're going to have to get the article. I will be making this video at some point a members only video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So by the end of today, it'll be a members only video. All right. So if you haven't watched the whole video, you can start it over and watch it. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. At some point, this video will be for purchase. You can always buy it later on. And, if you want to replay it, you'll have to pay for the replay, or you'll have to be a member. Once again, the extended content will be in an article. I will be explaining other stuff that's critical when it comes to walking, things that you may not have known about walking. A lot of people may not know. Okay, getting into the deep Akashic record about walking. If you'd like to send a cash appreciation, you can send it to my Cash App at @Coach V Hunter, or you can send your cash appreciation to my PayPal. If I owe you any reading or natal chart reading, I will be starting your natal chart today. So some of y'all been waiting on it. I had to take a break because I wasn't feeling well, and two sides of my family was sick in the same week. So I'm gonna start the natal charts today. I'll just start sending information out to some of y'all. Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye.